evolution is a simple concept and a simple process. It just means that the kinds of genetic variation in the population that exist changes over time. If you look at different people in a group of people, different races, or even just different people within the same race, we're not all genetically the same, right? We have slight variation. And you may know that they use information about differences in DNA among individuals to help convict people that were guilty of various crimes. That's how variable our DNA is. So changes in the DNA over time, on average, within a population is what we call evolution. And the process of evolution is evident in many ways. And an example is the evolution of organisms that cause diseases, things like the flu virus, or pneumonia virus, or pneumonia bacterium. There are two kinds of pneumonia organisms. Various other kinds of what we call infectious disease. An infectious disease is a disease that's the result of an organism getting into your body, some kind of organism, a virus, a bacterium. It could also be some other sorts of things, like the thing that causes malaria is a protist, right? But those are infectious disease, because to get the disease you have to get infected by an organism. That's different from something like cancer or heart disease. Those aren't infectious. The cause of those isn't due to some bacteria. But those organisms, those bacteria and viral organisms, they're genetically not identical, right? Just like all the humans in a population aren't genetically the same. And when we use antibiotics, that basically kills many, let's say, usually those only work on bacteria. It kills many bacteria, but in a huge population of bacteria, there could be hundreds of millions of bacteria of a certain kind in your body at a certain time if you have an infection. It's possible that one or more of those individuals is slightly genetically different. Maybe there was a mutation. Mutations happen all the time. And now that particular individual doesn't get killed by the antibiotic. If that happens, then the other individuals will get killed, that one won't, and it will reproduce, and now you have a bacterium in your body that isn't killed by the antibiotic. And in fact, this is a major problem in modern healthcare, which is the evolution of disease-causing organisms in response to antibiotics and other things that we do to try to take them out of the picture. Yeah, that's evolution, day and night, every day. Tuberculosis is another thing. 100 years ago, people got tuberculosis. Penicillin was discovered. People could take a dose or two of penicillin and be completely recovered from tuberculosis. Nowadays, most tuberculosis that exists is resistant to penicillin, so it doesn't have any effect. And we have to come up with more and more different kinds of antibiotics that are very unusual and very difficult to produce in the laboratory. They're synthetic, they're not from natural organisms, like penicillin comes from a mole, right? In order to find something that will kill these forms of viruses and bacteria that are resistant to previous medications.